Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen for unboxing and review, and this is a custom made pen from Den's Pens, and I'll show you the box that it comes in here. And you have a little bit of a wax seal with Den's logo, and if I remove the lid on the box, you will see a velvet pouch, and I'll remove the box there. And then you'll see this pen, and if I remove the pen, you'll see that this is quite an interesting pen. This is a Den's Pens Gaea, and this is in the sort of Middle Earth sort of look, and this is a custom-made pen from Den. Now, Den makes a lot of resins himself. I believe this resin is a Bob Dupree resin there. But the difference here with this pen is that Den has done a lot of metal work on this pen. So you can see here, this is the cap here, and this is the cap finial, and then also on the blind cap there's another bit of metal there. What Den is doing here is actually making the pen out of multiple metals here. So you've got a ring here, and then you've got two rings here, and then another two rings down near the blind cap. Now, I would say that this is a little bit unconventional in terms of where these rings are. For instance, normally you would have the rings down here towards the base of the body where the body meets the section, but Den has actually moved this up a little bit higher up, and also he's put double bands up here as well. Now, if I unscrew the cap, you will see here it comes with a number 6 size Bock nib. This is a steel nib. But you can see the size of the pen here in the size of my hand is actually quite nice. You can't post the cap, it isn't designed to be posted, but it is a cartridge converter pen. So if you unscrew the section here, you'll see a cartridge converter there. So that is just a standard Schmidt K5 converter. So easily replaceable if you want to replace them. There's a lot of threads there, but you can see here it's actually a really long size in my hand, so you don't need to be able to post that cap. I really do like this resin material. I think it really does have that sort of like Middle Earth type of material. It's got a lot of chatoyance and depth to this material, with some sort of grey sort of whites there mixed in with it. So I do think this is actually quite an interesting pen. Now, this is a custom-made commission pen, so this isn't a regular run-of-the-mill production run pen that Den makes, like for instance the Betaluses or the other Gaeas that he makes. So this is a to-order pen, so you do have to specify if you want this pen from Den. He will also pick 2 different metals. They may not be the same as this, and likewise the material may not be the same as well. It really does depend on what material is available. I'm presuming that Den can probably do this in any color. You could have a red pen or a blue pen. The metalwork might look a little bit different on those pens though, because I think the coppering sort of copper tones here actually match very nicely with the earthy type resin that we've got going on here. I do like the pen. It's got a bit of weight to it as well. So for me, I do like longer pens. I do like weightier pens. For me, I'd say the section maybe is a little bit too thin for me. I can hold it fairly comfortable, but it is on the smaller side in terms of the thinness. I think that may be something that you can ask Den if you were to commission a pen to make the section a little bit thicker, because there definitely is some room there. I think in that cap, the cap probably could be bored out a little bit more maybe as well. But if you want to commission a pen like this from Den, then certainly talk to Den and see what is possible. I don't know if it is. but it might be possible to get a wider section on that pen. But I think that the pen looks really nice, and the metalwork on here adds to the weight of that pen. So I think with that, we're going to try and stop the pen from rolling, which is going to be difficult. I might have to... Oh, no, I can stop it there. So we'll do a side check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 160 millimeters in length. So this is a very long pen. Now, the length of the cap, we are looking at about 67 millimeters in length. So again, that is a long cap. And then the length of the body, from the tip of the nib to the tip of the tines, we are looking at 145 millimeters in length. So again, this is a long pen that's definitely in the oversized category. So let's do a weight check. Now, the full weight of the pen, uninked, we are looking at, if I can stop it from rolling, just under 44.5 grams in weight. The weight of the cap, we're looking at just over 14.5 grams. And then the weight of the pen body, we're looking at just under 30 grams in weight. So it is a heavier pen for sure. It's not a super heavy pen. I have pens that are much more heavier than that though. But it's a pretty good weight from my perspective. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Benu Euphoria Bourbon. We have a Benu Euphoria, and this is the new year 2023. A Benu Vodka on the Rocks, which is also a Euphoria. We have an Anoto Great Roof Metallic Edition. We have a custom Dens pens, and this is a Gaea model with additional metalwork. We have an Anoto Magna Classic in the David Copperfield. We have an Anoto, and this is the Queen's Jubilee in sterling silver, an Anoto Coronation in sterling silver, an Anoto Magna Classic in the Chased Amber Pearl, and we have an Anoto Christmas Carol 2023 in silver gilding. So I think let's now do a writing sample. So this is the Dens pens, and it is a custom Gaea. And I want to say that this is a fine steel nib, box nib, because it is writing quite fine. Might even be an extra fine, but I think it's more of a fine. Now, the ink in here today is Diamine Ochre. Now, I say extra fine because I think it is writing quite dry, quite narrow. Now, in terms of line variations, I would almost say that this is an extra fine actually, and this is actually bringing it up to about a fine if I apply a little bit more pressure. And you can see that there, that is quite dry, and this is a very wet nib. So, but you can see there is no hard starts or skips. And I think if we do a ink wetness test, yeah, this is quite a dry nib, I would say. It's definitely not a very wet nib or a fire hose nib. Now, what do I like? What do I not like about the pen? Well, I love the material. This material is really nice. I do like the accented rings or bands here in metal around the cap and the body. What do I dislike? I'd say from my own perspective, I'm used to if I do have metalwork, it's typically around the base of the body here, where the body meets the section, or it's on a cap band. So this is, I guess, a little bit more unconventional in terms of where that those metal rings here are being added to the pen. I think though it gives it some character, and it makes a pen unique, and I think that's what a lot of people are wanting in pens nowadays, is they want a little bit of character and uniqueness in a pen. So I think it's probably not a bad thing. It's just, it's something to get used to when you're used to it in another form. But I like the pen, and I like the size, and I like the weight of this pen, and I do like the metal cap finials here on the cap, and the blind cap here, which is slightly different. I think the pen is polished to a high standard. It's made very well, and I think from that perspective, it really is quite an interesting pen. But this is a custom made pen, so if you want a pen like this, you're going to have to get it commissioned from Den at Den's Custom Pens. But I don't see that being a problem. If you do get a chance, go and visit him at the London Pen Show. I'm sure this pen will be at the London Pen Show in March 24, and also maybe in October 24 if it's still available. So get off to the London Pen Show and take a look at it if you can. If not, reach out to Den. He's on Instagram and also has a website which I'll put down below. So there you have it. That's my unboxing and review of the Den's Pens Custom Gaea in a fine steel nib. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.